Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Grace.
And we're California Travel Videos. And we are here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What's up with that?
Today we're going to go to a beautiful museum here, and it is a Thomas Gilcrease Museum. He was a oil tycoon born in 1890, passed in 1960, but he had an amazing collection of art and artifacts as well as documentations, including an original certified Declaration of Independence. How cool is that?
How do you get it certified?
I don't know.
We'll have to go in and find out, shall we?
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. So Ellen, please tell us a little bit about the lovely facility here.
Yes. Welcome to Gilcrease.
Oh, thank you very much. We're so happy to be here.
And welcome to Tulsa. So, but one thing that's real special about Gilcrease is they house Bob Dylan's archives.
Oh.
If you're a Dylan fan, you're going to love it.
Wonderful.
Wow, that was a lucky catch. It was kind of just blowing in the wind.
Exactly.
Yes, my friend, is a blowing in the wind.
One of our big exhibits right now is Dorothy Lang.
Oh.
And she was a photographer in the 30s.
Yes.
Are you familiar with her work?
Oh, we're photographers, so.
Oh, you are? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, this is a big exhibit. And it does have some things beyond her. But this is the famous one, Migrant Mother.
Yes.
Yeah. And then as you continue on, there's a bronze exhibit. And
What is it?
Bronze.
Oh, I said blonde.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was after you, Ellen. Maybe you would have your picture there. Bronze.
Bronze exhibit. Thomas Gilcrease collected not only paintings and sculpture, but artifacts from North and South America.
Okay.
Some of the stuff is pre-Columbian. It's pretty amazing.
Humans are fascinated to live vicariously through stories told by others that are worth retelling, sharing, and remembering. Our backstory begins with man's insatiable thirst for valuable oil, the critical ingredient for transportation in times of peace and war, and to fuel the power expansion during the industrial age. And being a scarce commodity, for better or worse, oil generates untold wealth for the fortunate few producing and refining the black crude. It all began where Thomas grew up in nearby eastern Oklahoma, the home of the Muskogee Nation tribe. In the early 1900s, the federal government allotted the American Indian lands to private citizens, and with Thomas's tribal membership through his mother and being the eldest, he was allocated 160 acres south of Tulsa. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at some Mexican masks from Mesoamerica, and they were thought to be directly related to the spirit. And so the dancers would put on a mask, assume the new identity of an animal or maybe a god, traditionally performed to honor deities in order to receive an abundance of rain, successful harvest, or maintain even good health. During his brief college education, through his teacher he gained an appreciation of the arts, his American Indian heritage, and the Trail of Tears, as well as about the legendary Indian leaders. Lucky for Thomas, the land was on top of Oklahoma's first major oil fields, the Glen Pool Oil Reserve, where 32 wells were pumping on his newly acquired land. Okay, so how do we make a bronze statue? Well, here we go. First off, we're going to start off with a lost wax coating. Then we've got our rubber mold. Funnel or pouring cap is used to attach the wax pattern. Ceramic shell mold. Let it dry and preheat the oven to about 15 to 1800 degrees for an hour. As the bronze cools, the ceramic shell begins to crack. And finally, voila, is to apply a patina coating. At age 21, Thomas soon became an able businessman. In 1922, he founded the ever-growing Gilcrease Oil Company, yet wealth was not Thomas's primary ambition, allowing him extensive art and cultural travel in Europe during the 1920s and 1930s. More importantly, visiting museums inspired him to create his own collection that would focus on the American Indian heritage.
What blows my mind is how the expressions can be cast in metal and so realistic. You know, you can just see the pride or the suffering or the emotion just running through.
Thomas Gilcrease believed that the greater cause to make the world a better place by paying it forward through philanthropy. He believed that art transcends time, providing an opportunity for us to better understand our heritage, respect our culture, and appreciate our diversity. Passionate and principled benefactors like Mr. Gilcrease made a commitment to preserve the past and unselfishly endow our nation and our visitors. So Thomas opened his art gallery 4 years after World War II, the time when few Americans were interested in the history of the West or the stories of the American Indian. Yet his prosperity took an unfortunate turn with the oil prices declining in the 1950s. Sadly, Thomas soon found himself with an insurmountable burden that would force him to sell his entire collection. Fearing that Gilcrease Museum would leave Tulsa, a small group of citizens led a successful bond election approved by a 3-to-1 margin by voters to pay Gilcrease's outstanding debt and keep his collection in Tulsa. Later recovering from the oil bust, Thomas committed his oil property revenue to the City of Tulsa to maintain the museum until the bond was repaid. Dorothy Lang's America. Now, Dorothy actually spent some of her life there in Sausalito and working, her and her husband, with more of the wealthy clients, but she was drawn in the Depression years to get up close and personal to people's stories. What is he thinking? He's away from everybody else. Obviously, you look at his hat, he's not doing so well, not fitting in with the big boys.
There is a real interesting behind the scenes to her iconic photo of Migrant Mother. She was on her way home after being away on the road, and she was tired, missed her family, and wanted to go home. When she passed a sign that said Migrant Camp, she told herself, "No, I'm going home." She continued to drive for several miles before she made a U-turn and drove back. As she walked into the camp, she saw the mother surrounded by her children. The rest, they say, is history.
Next up, Bob Dylan, Face Value and Beyond. Woohoo! No photography in this gallery. Well, okay. I'll maybe stop right here then. I'm glad my archives have found a home and are to be included with the works of Woody Guthrie, and especially alongside all the valuable artifacts from the Native American nations. To me, it makes a lot of sense, and it's a great honor. Now, what in the world is this sound here at this art museum? Well, you won't believe it, I didn't. Art museum, you normally think of tranquility and nature. It's a 2-channel audio recording of an Oklahoma pump jack. There's earth beneath your feet, a deep room where gas and oil, rock and stone circulate like slow blood through the body. And the idea is that, the oil here, gas, allowed progress, allowed actually this museum. When you think about that, the founder, Gilcrease, received over $1 million from oil royalties before he was 21 years old, and so not to forget that oil helped to provide this wonderful museum.
Currently, it is projected to reopen in 2024 or 2025, and once again, you'll be able to visit and enjoy its vast collection of art. An all-new multi-million-dollar investment will open a new museum in the same spot. The new structure can better protect the $2 billion collection and deliver a better 21st century visitor experience to the Gilcrease visitors.
And so, Grace,
So if you are in Oklahoma, you definitely have to get an opportunity to come here to the Gilcrease Museum.
we've certainly had good friends, good company, and a great time here, haven't we?
It's been wonderful. You like my new ring, darling? See, isn't it pretty?
Oh, wow, look at that. Hey, there's more to the story that I'm going to have to get caught up on myself. So until next time, happy trails to you.
1, 2, 3.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Okay, that's it. Hit it.